A very fine good evening to all of you present here. First of all, not just a good evening, let's have a heartiest welcome to the exclusive webinar by Technophilia 1.0 at Career Education. And we do have the gracious presence of Pratik sir, certified instructor at Microsoft, a technical architect, an innovator, and an educationist. And today, we are having this auspicious opportunity on 28th of December to share a knowledge session under the guidance of Pratik sir, elaborating, understanding, and conceptualizing the, you can say, the serverless cloud computing. The name itself seems quite technical and quite contemporary in the technical world we are here now. We shall be awaiting and we shall be welcoming the new participants. And Vinayak Saxena, the education program developer at Career Education, welcomes all our participants and with due honor to Pratik sir to have a part of this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So can we start?
Sure, Pratik sir. We may start now, please.
So let's start. So this is a webinar of cloud computing fundamental. This for starting 3 to 4 slides, just an introduction. So this webinar is brought to you by Career Deep Education in association with Microsoft Certified Trainer. This is about me, which is very well introduced. So let's go ahead. These are the some facilities which are not applicable since it is a webinar and happening online. So please go through this slide. This is about the webinar. So this is our today's agenda. And we are going to understand about this point and going to answer this question. So let's start.
Excuse me, Pratik sir. Sorry for the interruption. I would just like to add a small information to offer all the participants. May I, sir?
Go ahead.
To all the participants, please note, this session is available live on YouTube. So you may inform all your known colleagues to have a live streaming, to have a live view of this webinar on the YouTube at the official channel of Technophilia. On the same note, all the participants are informed by the end of this session, you will be given a Google form. Once you fill the Google feedback form, accordingly, your certifications will be sent to you through the download link. So I request all the participants to have a participation till the end of this session. By the end, we shall issue the Google feedback form for your feedback. Thank you so much. Please, sir, you may continue. Thank you so much.
So, hello everyone. I am Pathak Pratik and I am here representing as a Microsoft Certified Educator. And today we are going to see about what is cloud computing and why it is so popular. So before starting, please answer me whether you are a student or a professional. If you are a student, just write student in a chat box. And if you are a professional, I mean by professional, I mean if you are working in a company or you are not a student. So just write professional in the chat box. Let me see. Everyone please write. So students majority passed out. Okay. Student. So students majority. Okay. Thank you for your feedback. Let's go ahead. So we are going to start the session by asking a simple question. What is cloud computing according to you? Whatever you know, just write it down in the chat box. I'm just waiting for some quick responses. Whatever you know, if you know halfway, a part way, or something, a small part, please write it down in the chat box. About what is cloud computing according to you? Internet storage, very good. Database management, yes. Storing data online, pathway, right? accessing and processing data that is stored somewhere else, say cloud storage. That's very good. Something about storage on Google storage. You can say, but it's not about Google storage. Using another system, that's a really good answer. Interconnection between so many cluster of devices. If you are talking about IoT, then it's correct. Storage on internet. Uh, Most of the answers are coming like storing data. It's like related to storage. Internal storage in mobile, no. Cloud computing is on-demand availability of computers. That's a very good and correct and specific answer. So thank you for your answers. Let's go ahead with the cloud computing is delivery of computing service over the internet. By computing service means whatever you, if you write a simple program like a Python program, if it's consuming a processor, it's doing some computation, then it can be done via internet by using some other computers which are available on remote servers. Then it is called cloud computing. Basically, while doing a cloud computing or using writing a program, you basically deal with four components, which is compute, network, storage, and analytics. So let's take an example to understand more clearly. So consider this is your company. You are working on this company, and these are the servers. These are your applications which are running by on the which you are accessing on these devices, and which are running on premises servers on this database. So this is your company local servers running on local computers on your company, and these are the services and applications which are running in your company. So before the cloud, you can see there are lots of problem arises, like do I need a secondary network connection? If your connection failed, what you are going to do? Do you need a UPS if there is up and down in electricity supply? Do I need a what happens with the power goes out? Do I need a battery power, secondary battery power supply? Do I need to patch my server? And who has physical access to my server? And what is the size of server should I need? And who is going to monitor our server, how I deploy new. So you can see there are lots of problems. Also, there is a one problem, what storage I need to use. We will see in further slide. Just keep in mind this question. And there are many and many and many questions arise. And you can see to deal with this, it's very hectic and hazardous. It's very difficult task. And then a cloud come into picture, and you can see lots of questions disappear. And this is a PaaS is a cloud second service model. We will see in next slide. So if you see, there are lots of things that disappear. So I ask you to write down the things which just get disappear in the chat box. Just write the questions and anything which you think just disappear. Just write in down the chat box. I'm just waiting for some quick responses. Backup problem, right? It just disappear. Yes, PaaS is the platform as a service. We will see. Size of this. Do we need a secondary storage? Okay. Whatever you think just disappear in while cloud PaaS came into picture. Just write it down in the chat box. Okay. Very few responses. Okay. Server of physical access to my server. More. I am waiting for one more. Size, right? Are we dependent on OS? We will see. Let's and at the end of the session, you will get answer to your question. What storage I need to use? Yes. So, bit, bit example, bit mining example of cloud computing. You can run bit mining programs on cloud. Bit mining is not an example of cloud computing. You can run bit mining things on your local computer too. So let's go ahead. So the thing which disappeared is this main thing. Your on-premises local server is now disappeared because everything is now stored on cloud. So your local server is not into a picture while we are dealing with the fast cloud computing services. Also, you can if you put on this, if you see all the questions which just disappeared. If you want to put in a group or a category, we can say that all these problems which just disappear are arises due to the on-premises data or local server. So if you use the cloud computing, then these things on-premises data or on-premises redundancy problem just get disappear, and it solves a lot of problems, and it reduce your time efficiency and enhance your services. Sorry, okay. So and then there is this is a new type of cloud service model which is known as serverless. In serverless, you can see there is almost no problem. There are some problems. This can be specified in a config file while deploying on a cloud serverless model. You just have to write your code and deploy it on your cloud, and it's going work like a charm. And you don't have to worry about. So let's go ahead. So there is a thing, capex and opex. Okay, capex stands for capital expenditure. So if you are running a local server on your local company, you need to buy servers, GPUs, software, RAM, and all. Apart from it, you also need to pay for maintenance cost and backup power supply a lot. So these all are come under capital expenditure. Also, their second term is known as operational expenditure. Operational expenditure means the money you spend while maintaining the cloud or the infrastructure you have built. So on cloud, you don't have to pay for capex because you don't have to build your infrastructure. You just have to use whatever available on cloud, and you can make your own servers computing and do whatever you want. So you just have to pay for opex, and the opex cost which is there will be generated on premises or local or because of your local server is much greater than the opex cost of cloud, because in a local server you need to buy some additional things, like you have to pay for electricity, you have to pay for backup, or have to pay for power supply, you have to pay for watchmen for security maintenance. If you see in this slide, most of the problems just disappear because of the on-premises server. If your on-premises server disappear, the many problems on-premises problems just disappear. That's why this is the best and most crucial point of cloud computing. You don't have to pay capital expenditure. You just have to pay operational expenditure, and it is also lesser than on-premises operational expenditure. So these are cloud advantages and benefits. We will talk about this in detail. So first thing you will see high availability. Let me say in India there are three data centers. Let me just draw. In India there are three data centers. So consider your website running on this data center, and then in one click you can copy this whole website in other two data centers. So if something went wrong on this data center, or AD, we also call this as the AD, availability domain. If something went wrong on this data center, then still there are two which are exactly replica or clone of your original website are still running. So there will be no downtime. So due to the cloud, you get high availability. This is also one of the crucial and beneficial point of cloud computing. The second point you see is fault tolerance. To understand fault tolerance, see, if you are considering this data center. So in data center there are three fault tolerance. There are three fault tolerance, and inside a data center there are three fault tolerance. There are also three fault tolerance here. In this two, so inside one data center, there are three fault zones, and you are going to deploy your website on this data on this tolerance. So, the remaining two fault tolerance are just replica or clone of first fault tolerance. So, if first fault tolerance fails, then there are still two running, and the remaining two are fail. Then the whole data center fails, and then there are still two. data centers are active available, and inside two data centers there are three separate fault tokens which are still active. So due to which you achieve a high level of availability. So the downtime of your website will be approximately zero, close to zero. The second point, the third point you see, this is scalability. So this is one of the most crucial point. Also, a crucial point. If you consider to understand this, consider example of Amazon. So on Amazon is the e-commerce website. On Amazon you buy things. You all know about e-commerce. So during a normal period of time, the traffic Amazon receives is normal constant. Let's say 1 lakh traffic he receives per day or per month. So during normal time, they mostly receive 1 lakh visitors per day. But on a festive time, like Amazon Big Billion, Amazon Great Indian Sale, they receive a peak in their traffic. So instantly traffic has been increased from 1 lakh to 10 lakh, and at that time their server fails. If you are using on premises, you are not able to, you cannot maintain this huge amount of the traffic which are just increased. But in cloud, when if you're considering on premises, if you want to handle such type of situation, you need to upgrade your server. For this, you need to buy a separate RAM, separate PC, separate computer, and you have to buy and install it on your local infrastructure so that there will be no problems occur, and you can easily handle with such a peak in the traffic. But you think you know that sale is going to happen only for 3 days. So the traffic rises is only for 3 days. What will happen those to those servers which you have added for only 3 days? After 3 days, they are like useless. They are waste. You are not going to use it anywhere. You are just going to remove because it is costing your OPEX cost. It is increasing OPEX cost. So this is one of the advantage of on premises. So in cloud computing, whenever there is a peak in there is a peak in your traffic, cloud computing automatically adds computer to your normal server. And when there is low and your traffic gets down about straight line, so it automatically removes that computer, and you only pay for that small amount of period of time at which for which the cloud computing has cloud has added your service. So this is one of the also important feature of cloud. The next point is elasticity. Elasticity means ability to adapt. If you see, because of scalability, it automatically is adding and removing servers, due to which we are able to achieve elasticity, and we are able it will automatically deal with increase and decrease in traffic. The next point is global reach and customer latency capability. So if you want to understand, let's take an example. For example, you are in India, you are running your website, which is if you are running a website, you have purchased a website hosting from a US data center. So if your visitors from India trying to access the website, they will get access from US data center, which will take a long amount of time to send a request to US data center and receive their data. So due to this, there is delay in response time. So this is called customer latency capability. So in cloud, you can deal with this in a single click. So what you can do, if your website is running in India, you just have to click one click, and it will automatically copy your whole website into a US data center. Or you want to copy your whole website in Russia, you just have to click one. You just click one time, and it will copy your whole data thing, whole your website in US data center. So whenever a visitor visit their website, they will get a local or nearest from the nearest data center response. So it decreases your customer latency, and also it increases your global reach. So agility means maintenance and optimization. So you don't have to worry about maintenance and optimization; it will do it automatically. And the next point is predictive cost consideration. We will talk about this in next slide. The next point is disaster recovery. So in cloud, there is a facility in which you just have to set around you have set for 12 hours. So in every 12 hours, it will just copy your whole website or whole your cloud, whatever the running modules you are running. It will copy and save it somewhere. So in each 12 hours, there are clone of your whole servers are there. So if something went wrong, or your server gets failed, it you can go back to previous latest backup server. So you can say that there will be no loss you can easily recover your servers. And the next point is security. So in cloud, you can easily handle your security and monitor your each and every individual traffic. So let's go ahead with the next slide. So I have said I will talk about this prediction of predictive cost analysis. So cloud offers consumption-based model. As already I said, you don't have to pay for capex. You have to pay for opex. In opex, you just only have to pay for the things you use. So in cloud, you only pay for the resources that they use. You don't have to pay for backup power supply or infrastructure or electricity bill or maintenance. You don't have to pay. Whatever you will use, you have to pay for that. And in cloud, there is a facility known as cost prediction. So if you are using a service, let's say you had rented a i5 processor and also 8 GB RAM processor. So by using a cost prediction tool, you can predict what will be the total cost in 1 month which are going to be consumed. So this is one of the also best feature of the cloud computing. So let's go ahead with the cloud service model. So in cloud, there are three service models. The first service model is infrastructure as a service. This uses pay as you go service in which cloud manages servers, networks, and data center. Apart from other things, you will see what we are going to manage. So cloud only offers servers, storage, network, and data center. This is the most used model of cloud computing. The next service model is platform as a service. In platform as a service, you have to manage servers, networks, data centers, operating system, development tools, servers and storage. So these are the things all managed by cloud, and you just have to write your code and deploy it on the server. And it's good for software application, and you can build and test your application as platform as a service model. The next model is software as a service. In this model, everything is managed by cloud. You are just a visitor or a client of that application. For example, Microsoft Office 365, email, Gmail, Google Cloud, uh, you can say Google Drive, etc., Amazon, etc. You are a visitor. You are just a client. You don't have to do anything. So these are the three comparison difference between you can see. So all this you can see IaaS is most flexible cloud service. You can configure and manage the hardware for your application. PaaS focus on application development. Platform management is handled by cloud provider. And SaaS is a software as a service, pay as you go pricing model. Users pay for the software and they use on a subscription model. So you can see these three are the service models of cloud, and these are on premises. So on premises are the local service which are running on a company. You can also say it's a private cloud. So in private cloud, you have to manage all the things. They are colored in green. So in private cloud or on premises or local server, you have to manage everything: storage, network, compute, virtual machine, operating system, runtime, application, data, and everything you have to manage. And in cloud, infrastructure as a service (IaaS), cloud manages these three things: storage, networking, and compute. So you have to manage these things, which is virtual machine, operating system, runtime, application, data, and assets. In platform as a service, data and assets and application are managed by you, and remaining are managed by cloud. And in software as a service, almost everything is managed by the cloud from a cloud provider, and you have to manage only data and assets. So the next question is who use cloud computing? So there are many companies, around more than 300 plus popular companies who use cloud computing, and each day we are experience growth in cloud computing by 12%. So each company wants to move to cloud because they don't want to build their own infrastructure in order to compute or they deploy. So they just want to use the feature pay as you go model service of cloud. So if you talk about the growth of cloud computing, so this is a US cloud computing market size. If you can see there is huge exponential growth. You can see there is exponential growth in cloud computing. So by prediction, the cloud computing is the future technology of India, future technology of the world. So everyone wants to go on cloud because they have to. There is less problem, and also the cost is so low. And also the CAGR stands for compound annual growth rate. You can see the compound annual growth rate of cloud is increasing exponentially too. So by the end of year 2020, it was around 46 billion. So by prediction, we can say it's going to be a uh, great thing. So what are the cloud providers? The services you see, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, these are the things which are provided by these cloud computing platform, cloud providers. So the popular providers are Amazon Web Service, Google Cloud Platform, and Azure. So Oracle Cloud is also popular now, and Alibaba Cloud too. So each in every 1 week, I see in every 1 week or 1 month, I see 2 to 3 new cloud providers. So every company wants to enter in cloud computing because they all know that it's a very profitable business. So the most three demanding cloud providers are AWS, Amazon Web Services. The second largest are Microsoft Azure. Third largest is Google Cloud Platform. So these are the leading cloud leaders, which covers around 86% of cloud market. This is the report of August 2020, in which you can see these three. I'll a 1 minute. Sorry. So you can see these three are the leading companies: Google, Microsoft Azure, and Amazon Web Services. And these are some new companies which are also experiencing exponential growth. But I see a report of the last month that Oracle has experienced around 160% growth rate in last 3 months. So Oracle is now under challenges. So every company is moving towards cloud computing and using this as their cloud providers. So the next question arises is who should use cloud computing? So to answer this question, I will ask what is your tech domain? 1 second, please. So 1 second, it's loading. So the next question arises, who should use cloud computing? To answer this question, so everyone go to menti.com and use this code and tell me what is your tech domain, whether you are a tech domain, whether you are an ML developer or a website developer, whatever you are, just go to this website menti.com, enter this pin code, and enter this code and answer this question. So do it fast. I'm waiting for some quick responses. What is Apache Spark? Mm, Apache Spark. I know about Apache. I don't know about Apache Spark. So the first is web developer. So everyone, please go to menti.com and use this code and answer this question. What is your tech domain? So whether you are a ML developer, you are a statistical type person, so web development again, Java programmer, okay, okay. I'm waiting for some more responses. If you are, no one is from ML AI, अच्छा ML development, it came. ML development, okay. Only Angular development, okay. It's come under front end, web developer, ML development. Again ML development. ML developer in Java, front end developer, okay, graphic designing, okay, web developer, okay, okay again, technical content writer, oh, okay, app developer, okay, pen tester, okay. So the voting will get closed in 1 minute. So whoever remaining, please fill out this form, fill out this small quiz. IT admin, okay. Android and graphic designing, okay. So in 40 seconds it will close. We will close this small quiz. C learner. So it's just a programming language. So voting is closed. So let me. So most votes are goes to web developer. So you can use cloud computing is in for web developer. You can deploy your website on cloud. So you can get high availability. So as a normal developer for web developers, you may have built your website in PHP and you have may purchase the hosting from some shared hosting, and you will see that they will say there is the server uptime is around 98%, 99.9%. So there is a new trend of clouds known as cloud web hosting. So using cloud web hosting, you can achieve around almost close to 100% uptime. Also, there is 0% downtime if you are going to for maintenance or any other thing. So in web cloud computing is most beneficial for web developer. The second is ML development. So for the ML engineers, I will say if you are running, if you are building a normal model on your local machine, it will take around 15 to no. For me, it takes around 1.5 and more than 1 hour, 1 hour. So if I train my ML model on cloud, it took around the same model which took on my device is around 2 hours and 16 minutes. The same model trains on cloud is around 16 minutes. So you can see in cloud it is much faster. And the next is web designer. So it also comes under web developer. Java programmer. Java is the programming language. You can use Java language as your programming language, and you can deploy it on the cloud. So for backend, you can too use cloud computing since you are getting a servers you can maintain. You can deploy your backend on the cloud. Android users can also deploy their backend or frontend or any designer or can create their REST APIs and APIs on the cloud. Next is IT admin. So IT admins can manage and maintain their users and everything. Also, they are same thing. You can deploy your website, anything, whatever related to technology. And if you want to connect with internet, you can do it on cloud. So front end developer to create a website, same thing. Angular developer, yes, you can deploy a website in Angular in cloud. Graphic designing for data scientists, it's a good thing. Data scientist, cloud computing is best for you. You can deploy and run the ML model too, and whatever you run like scikit-learn these packages, you can use cloud notebooks, cloud Jupyter notebooks. It is much more beneficial, much more powerful than any other like Google Colab. It is much faster. Digital marketing, I think so. So in digital marketing, you can to deploy your website, do whatever you can do. So these are some quick responses. So I hope you get the answer who is going to use cloud computing. So moving forward, So let's go for a demo. So I'm opening a Azure Cloud Computing admin portal, which is the second largest cloud provider. Just wait a minute; it takes some time to load. So this is Azure, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure platform. You can see there are lots of services. You can see app service, function app, SQL database, Azure Cosmos DB, virtual machines, load balancer, storage account. It has lots of options. So if you go to marketplace, one minute it's loading. So in marketplace, you can see there are lots of services, lots of. So if something is not present on cloud, you will definitely get it on marketplace, but you have to pay extra. Or you can use because these things you just bring your own license type subscription. So if you have a license, you can integrate into on your cloud, and you can use and you can by using your license you can run on it. So this, for AI and machine learning, you can see that. 1 minute is loading. So you get that NVIDIA image for AI. So if you use this type of software, your ML model will build in around 5 to 6 minutes. So you also get NVIDIA GPU for TensorFlow. Also you get data for data scientists. You can see this services tools. So it almost for data scientists and ML AI, you see a lots of tools are already present. So if you focus on database, it's loading again. So for database, you can see there are lots of things like MongoDB. You can use old databases like SQL database. So it consists lots of different types of database like MariaDB. You can use this, or PostgreSQL. You can use this for your website deployment. So let's go ahead with a small demo. Let's create a virtual machine. So it's we are going to create a small virtual machine. So if you don't know what is virtual machine is like your computer. I am going to create a computer with personally I am going to add some RAM. I am going to add some processor. So I'm just basically creating a computer on cloud. So the first thing you see is it's asking for resource group. It's resource groups are like just a folder. So if you know, while creating a computer, there is a lot of things like network card, RAM, processor, database, hard disk. So these are all going to store in a particular group. This is known as resource group. So let's give a name like demo. Okay, virtual machine name. Let's give it admin. So you will see it asks where it to deploy. So I am going to select India, central India, since it will be if we are in India. So if you ping, if I create a website on this data center, so we will get a low latency. So we will get high, we will get easy response. We will get much more faster response time. So last option is which operating system should I use? So I'm going with Windows 10 Pro version. And now it will say it asks for a size. So let's see the sizes. Let's see all sizes. So you will see these are the free ready-made computers or virtual machines are available, in which you can see there is RAM specified here over here. So high to low, you can get 32 GB of RAM, 16 hard data disk, and input output with temporary 64 GB storage. and it supports premium disk. So in Azure Cloud, you get three types of disk. First is HDD, second is SSD, and third disk is premium disk. It is 20 times faster than normal SSD. So you see the cost of this machine is around 20,000 per month. So we are not going to create this, but it's much cheaper. If you are going to create the same machine on local, you will get around bill around 50 to 60,000. So it's cheaper than others. So we are going to create a one virtual machine which is in our budget. So let's go ahead with this one. Select. So I've selected 8 GB RAM, two virtual CPU cores, and also let's create a username and password. It's asking for username password. So I'm just creating a username and password. When you log into Windows some system, it always asks a username password. If you don't keep a password, it automatically logs in. But in cloud, you must have a password, username and password. One second. So I have created a username and password for my cloud. So you will see a here section is inbound port rules. So if you are a web developer, you probably open these ports because you want traffic to access your server. So, but I'm not going to create a web server on my this virtual machine. So I'm not going to open. I'm just going to open RDP 3389. So let's go ahead with next step, which is the disk. So I am going to attach a disk. So you will see there is three types of disk. First is normal hard disk. Second is SSD. Third is premium SSD. So I'm going to create with a normal SSD, and I don't. If you see, it offers an encryption at rest type of key, and then I'm not going to add extra disk. I'm comfortable by default. It adds 120 GB of disk, so I'm comfortable with 120 GB of disk SSD. So next step is networking. If you see if you have ever studied computer network, you will see these are the networking. So these are written in CIDR notation. So yeah, I'm going to let it be with default. Next go management. Let's go to if you see the option, it is auto shutdown. So you can enable auto shutdown. So let's set auto shutdown to 6 p.m. as per India plus 5:30. Okay, so at 6 o'clock, this the virtual machine will automatically shut down, and it will send a message on my email. So let's go to next step. So you will see it asking for an extension. You can install a third-party extensions too for monitoring and managing that there is a peak in assessing. It basically means you can monitor your code processors and computation power. So I'm not going to add any extensions. So let's go to add tags. So tag is a method to monitor a special specific server. So you also with the help of tag you can maintain your cost. So we will not talk about tags in detail. We are not going to add a tag. So let's go to review. So you'll say there is a validation field. So maybe I have missed something. Let's go back to the basic. What is wrong? Oh, I forgot to take this. So review plus create. It is reviewing that each and every option is good and as per the requirement. So you will see that it will cost around 6,000 rupees per hour. Since I have used a very standard B2 type of virtual machine, it's had very high computation power. So let's create. So you will see that the deployment has been started, and it will take around 4 to 5 minutes to complete the deployment. So until then, please everyone uh, fill out this form for your participation certificate. I'm putting in the chat. Go to this form and fill out the details, and you will receive your certificate in around 5 to 6 minutes. If you did not receive the certificate, please check the spam folder or trash folder. It will be there. So you will say it is creating something like admin IP, admin NSG stands for Network Security Group, and demo virtual net card. So in normal, if you are creating a normal computer or you build your PC, you will normally use a normal NAT gateway. You have to purchase a NAT gateway, but in cloud computing, they are going to use virtual NAT gateway for communicating over via internet. So let's wait for until then. Please fill out everyone for. It will take some time for the deployment. You can ask any question too until it gets deployed. If you have any question, you can ask now. And also, it is mandatory to fill the form. If you have any question, you can write it down in a chat box. I will reply. Do data centers have any limit for cloud storage? Technically, no, but physically, yes. If you need, they around provide around 64 TB. No, no, much more greater than. So as per requirement, you can use tons of data GB. They don't have any limit. If you want more data, you just add a new disk in a virtual machine, and they are going to add it to your server. So technically, it's cloud have infinite space. Whatever you pay it, and you will get it. There is no limit, such limit. Any more questions? How do company measure storage capacity with certain amount of money? Any international? There are international standards for it. But you have to read about documentation to know about this. Why bit mining would come under cloud computing? Because you can run bit mining program or any other program on cloud for to mine bitcoins. That's why it can come under cloud computing. Basically, whatever, if you are using a processor, if you are going to use any computational thing, you can do it on cloud. So whatever things can be done using normal computers, they can be done on cloud. But on cloud, you get a perfect environment. You won't gain any downtime. No one is going to power off. So and you get around 800 Mbps speed to internet speed. So cloud is most suited environment. How do companies? So I think I have answered this. Achha, how do companies measure storage capacity with certain amount of money? There are international standards for it. Yes, there are international standards for it. What are disadvantages of cloud computing? That's a good question. If you think so, cloud computing is getting popular, but not all people can use cloud computing. So you need you can say the most crucial disadvantage is you need a specialized person. So you need a person or IT admin who is specialist in cloud computing to handle these things. Not everybody can open and if you think this is a GUI, you can do this, you can do this. No, if you click a wrong, if you click a single wrong button, it will create a wrong virtual machine, and it is going to you are going to charge for it. So if you do any wrong thing, you are going to pay for it. So cloud computing, you will need a specialized or trained person. So this is the most disadvantage of cloud computing. Apart from this, I don't think there is any other disadvantage. Does a commerce student learn cloud computing? Commerce students needs to, for commerce student, I will say they need to small amount, not if there is 100% of cloud computing, you just need to learn 5% because you need to know about cost management, predictive management, and traffic management, analytics power, and statistical power in order to compute the total cost and etc. So if you are a commerce student, you don't need to go about in technical thing, but you still need to learn about normal things because every company, around almost every company, even now web hostings are also moving towards cloud computing because it offers much more good environment. So you just need to learn about small things. Any more questions? Taking longer time than usual. Is cloud computing safe? If you have a, I said as a disadvantage, if you have a person which is master in cloud computing, then cloud computing is safe. If you don't have that IT admin person which is specialist in cloud computing, maybe they will open that HTTPS. If you see, while creating this virtual machine, there was an option to open HTTPS and HTTP server port numbers. If I open that and I am not going to use them, so it will create a vulnerability. So anyone can attack my this virtual machine. So if you know about